Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Subhalakshmi and today I am going to talk about the cellular jail. Cellular jail was once the symbol of British oppression and today it is a national memorial dedicated to the epic freedom struggle of India. Cellular jail is situated on South Andaman Island, one of 572 islands forming Union Territory of Andaman and Nicobar Islands in India. Now, let's learn about the board of the cellular jail. A two-member commission consisting of Charles James Lyall, a surgeon of Bengal Civil Service, and Major A.S. Lethbridge was constituted in January 1890 with a direction to submit a detailed report on the working of the penal settlement of Port Blair. After their inspection, the Commission submitted their report to the government on 26 April 1890. The Commission found that the system has contributed immensely towards reformation of transported prisoners. However, they expressed their dissatisfaction over the prevailing conditions in Andamans and reported that it was aimed that the place for transportation should be second only to the capital punishment. But the transportation to the Andaman doesn't fulfill this intention. The Commission reported that the restrictions imposed upon the prisoners in the Andamans were much less severe than those in Indian jails and therefore recommended that the prisoners in the Andamans must pass through a much harder life, at least during the initial stages. They specifically recommended that prisoners should be confined during the first 6 months in solitary cells in a jail to be specially built for the purpose in order to maintain in it a degree of discipline till then unknown in Port Blair. The Andaman and Nicobar Manual, Settlement Order Number 423, dated 13th September 1893, was issued for taking up construction of the cellular jail based on the recommendations of the Lyall-Lethbridge Commission. Before taking up the construction, the most difficult task before the government was to locate a suitable site. Number of sites were examined but rejected as being unhealthy. Finally, a suitable site at Aberdeen, which was considered the healthiest location of the settlement, was selected. It was within a short distance from the police lines and the houses occupied by various officers and subordinates. It was located just opposite Ross Island, from where troops could be quickly summoned in a short time. The site was also suited in terms of security of the jail, as more than half of the outer wall was bounded by the sea. A lot of importance was attached to the construction of cellular jail in Port Blair. Great precautions were taken at the planning and execution stage. It was earlier planned as a 2-storied structure but modified later as a 3-storied building so that 600 cells could be provided. The initial plan for the cellular jail was prepared by Mr. Davies, Executive Engineer, 1 Calcutta Division, in consultation with Dr. Lethbridge. Before the final plan of the cellular jail was approved, a number of modifications were made on the basis of the suggestions and recommendations of various officers in order to make the cellular jail more self-contained. Later, Mr. McQuillan prepared plans and estimates of the cellular jail. Though at the beginning it was estimated that the cellular jail would cost around Rs 5,17,362, An expenditure of rupees 7,83,994 was incurred by the time it was completed. All possible measures were taken to build a jail which should be strong enough to resist earthquakes in view of the major earthquake that occurred in the islands on 31st December 1881. Soon, armies of prisoners were laboring to construct a monstrous edifice which should strike terror in the hearts of the prisoners. Spread as 7 spokes of a bicycle wheel, this unique 3-story structure was the first of its kind in India. According to the Cellular Jail Maintenance Authority, 663 cells in the jail were specially built for solitary confinement of the prisoners. In the center of the 7 wings of the cellular jail was built the central tower. Each cell wing was sealed off by an iron grille door. Thus, a single guard on duty could supervise all the 7 wings from his vantage position. Another unique feature of the jail was the total absence of communication between prisoners in the different wings, since the front of one row of cells faced the back of the wings in front. This is the veranda of one of the wings of the cellular jail. The individual cells in the jail are placed in one row along the 4 feet wide veranda running the whole length of every wing. There were no dormitories and no cell in the cellular jail had toilet facility. Each cell measures 13.5 feet by 7 feet, secured by a heavy iron grille door with specially designed latch system. Confinement in the small cells gave this facility its name cellular jail. About 20,000 cubic feet of local stone and 30 lakhs bricks made by prisoners were used to construct the jail. The infrastructure for hard labor such as iron grills, chains, fetters, shackles, flogging stones and oil mills was brought from England. Let's talk about the punishment given to the prisoners, the horrors of cellular jail. The labor to which political prisoners were subjected to in the cellular jail was intended to function as a form of torture. The political prisoners were required to produce a daily quota of 30 pounds of coconut oil, 10 pounds of mustard oil, targets that were beyond the physical capacity of all. Dire punishment followed for those who failed to meet the quotas. Punishment was barbaric. Torture and flogging were frequently resorted to on the flogging stand. Sackcloth uniforms, unhygienic diet, bar fetters, crossbar fetters, neck-ring shackles, leg irons and chains were other deterrents for those who refused to submit to the brutal warders. The punishment varied from the handcuffs for a week and fetters for 6 months to solitary confinement. Hang until death was the extreme punishment awarded to the prisoners if they refused to submit themselves to the brutalities of the jail officials. Remoteness and the terror of the facilities gave it the name Kala Pani. In the crowded, filthy, damp environment of the cellular jail, facing the brutalities of the jail officials and the soul-shattering labor, political prisoners continued their struggle for survival. This is the brief history of the cellular jail. The 4 out of the original 7 wings of the jail had to be demolished after the damage during the earthquake in 1941. After independence in 1947, many of the erstwhile political prisoners visited the islands. Their association, ex-Andaman Political Prisoners Fraternity Circle, put up a proposal to preserve remaining 3 wings. Then, Cellular Jail was declared a national memorial by the then Prime Minister of India, Morarji Desai, on 11th February 1979.